Zidon Daney, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Electro Ninja's Lab. I am here with my fellow host,
I'm Jack.
and today we thought we would talk about Skandar. For those of you who didn't see the live stream, Skandar 4's cover has been revealed, which
And we are stoked on it because it looks dope as hell.
indeed, and she's actually some of the posts that she's been making lately have basically been saying that it's one of the books that she is the most thrilled for.
Well, it's the second to last.
So
That
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. So she literally said so in her the video one where she shows off the book coming to life and stuff. She
Oh
says,
yeah.
Skandar and the Skeleton Curse. I can't wait for you to read book 4. It's been my favorite to write. I'm thrilled we can bring it to bookshelves in this October.
I'm so excited.
Absolutely.
So how spoilery are we being on this video?
So that's actually a good point. We will say right now, this video is going to contain spoilers for all 3 books. So if you haven't read them, go and read them, and then come back because this is going to be a very fun video. So yeah. With that out of the way, let's spoil some shit.
I feel like me and you don't mind spoilers.
Yeah. So yeah, this is we can go ham with this. So
Fabulous.
So yeah, so with that, Kenna is the new Weaver, and their mom is dead.
Yes.
So
And in the very end of book 4, what we saw is Kenna in some unknown location that we now think might be the Wasteland Warehouse or Wasteland Treehouse.
Yep.
Where she takes white paint and paints her face with it. So clearly she's making a choice.
Yep.
To become the Weaver and stay the Weaver, and that's terrifying.
It absolutely is. And also, though, I do have to say that one thing that I do love about the book, though, is that it also feels like Skandar is making a choice to truly fight for spirit wielders and to
Yes.
I think he still wants to save his sister, but I think he's realizing that there's a chance that he won't be able to do that. And he's also choosing to live his life, which is also I kind of love that. I love that he and Flo are there together, and I'm hoping that that whatever we see as the series continues will continue to be absolutely fantastic, and their relationship will grow. But I'm also I'm intrigued to see exactly how she's going to react when she's just like when Rex decides to do something that is absolutely going to piss her off to no end.
Yeah. I still think that she should be the one to accidentally kill him.
That would be amazing. I honestly would be so thrilled if she's the one who kills him. Like, he does something so bad that she is just like, no, fuck you, and destroys him.
I see it more as, because she's a Silver, and we've established in the first 3 books that the Silvers are extremely powerful, and that it is not in fact uncommon for Silver Unicorns to accidentally kill their riders.
Yep.
That then, why wouldn't it make sense for then her and Blade to have now the Chaos Trials are over, they've been through all this emotion, Blade and her have this insanely strong bond. Wouldn't it make sense then to see it where Rex does something shitty to Skandar, Flo feels an oversurge of emotion, Blade feels that oversurge of emotion, and then he just elemental blasts like crazy, and boom, all of a sudden Rex is laying there in pieces.
Yeah. Honestly, I would love to see that be something along the lines of at the like as he is like prepping for like he's been already determined that he will be in the Chaos Cup. And basically have it be something that calls back to his killing of Nina, where he couldn't let it actually be a fair fight to win the Chaos Cup.
Oh yeah, no.
And so obviously So he's already won. He is in the running to be in the. He's already done the nominations, all that jazz, and he is ready to do this race. And he does something so vile to Skandar, and Flo absolutely loses it. And and then
Blade.
she and Blade both go ham and absolutely attack him and destroy him. I think that's gonna be amazing. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited as heck to see how this is gonna play out because it's intense. It's insane. Um, but also let's just go ahead and go over the all of the different stuff that's going on the cover, which I know that people are not able to see. But first off, Skandar 4 is going to be coming here to America October 15th, which I believe is actually the closest timing because, yeah, Skandar 4 in Japan, or not in Japan, in Europe was I think this is going to be October 10th, I want to say, is when Skandar 4 is going to be releasing. Yeah, well, they're not saying it, but I think that it's October 10th is when the is
I just informed my staff that we have to go to Barnes and Noble as a for work on
October.
October
Yeah,
15th.
so yeah,
Yes.
obviously October 15th. That is the day. So real quick, just going over the cover. First off, it's called the Skeleton Curse, which I think we said it in our discussion that I think that we think you especially think that has to do with the fact that he sees the skeleton as they're becoming the as they're able to mend.
The Death and Unicorns,
Yeah.
yes.
So obviously, so there's that. Um, as for what is actually happening, where Skandar is blasting lightning at the ground and the ground is cracking. So Skandar is actually cracking the earth. We thought when we first saw it that this was the fault line, but it looks like he is actually going to crack the earth with the lightning, according to the at least the dramatization picture or video that they did. So, so there's that. But also in the background we see Bobby and Falcon flying behind him, and she is creating a lightning falcon, which I am so thrilled about. That looks so freaking badass. Which I believe the only people that we have seen do animals at this point in time are obviously the teachers, and I think it's just Agatha that's done it. I could be wrong about that.
I do think that is true. Yes.
So I think that being able to create an animal to fight for you, that's going to be something that is going to become a detail in this book, and that's going to be like one of their main things that they're going to be training to do. Um, and since Skandar did actually get to see two different creature, he got to see the spirit element thanks to Agatha and Erica fighting. He will actually be able to do it really quick with the spirit element.
Which I believe he will.
Yeah. Which I'm honestly so excited to see, like, all the different stuff that he's going to do with the spirit element from this point forward. It's hard to say exactly what they're going to be doing. But yeah. I don't know. I'm excited to say the least. And then obviously we've said this before, but who do you think is going to die in this book? Because I think the third book kind of set the standard that there will be deaths from this point forward. Do you think that there's anybody else that's going to be killed?
I'm hoping Rex.
Yeah. Yeah, Rex. That would be great if he actually gets killed. Whether that be in this book or the next book, I'm not 100% certain. The other possibility that I'm seeing as as to what is going to be going on in this book is that Skandar and Kenna are going to have their confrontation, and Skandar is going to forcibly mend her. Because, like, I don't necessarily like that idea, but at the same time, I think it's the better. It is a better. He understands that if he doesn't mend her as well as Tyler to Goshawk, he knows that he is that things are going to go badly, and that
Yeah.
they need to. He needs to stop her, and yeah, we'll see exactly how that plays out. Um, I'm excited though. I can't wait to see exactly what they're going to do with the actual battle. But yeah, I think that it's more likely that in this book they defeat like they're going to defeat one of them, and then the other one is going to be the main. Well, they're obviously both going to be a threat throughout both books. One of them is going to be defeated in this book, and then the other is going to be defeated in the fifth book. So I'm not certain exactly who is going to be killed in which, or who's going to be defeated in which one, but I think that that's a reasonable expectation.
For October, bitch? No, you didn't. Shut the fuck up.
What happened?
My my staff texted me back. Oh no, I accidentally already made up the calendar. I'm like, for October, bitch? No, you did not. It is fucking June.
Ay, ay, ay. That's funny. But yeah. So so yeah, I just found yeah, October 10th is when it will be releasing over in Europe, and then obviously here in America we're getting it October 15th. I mean, there is a chance that they will do something like what they did last time, where we get a day early. Yeah. I'm not certain exactly how that's going to play out, but we'll see. Um, which is also really cool because while obviously June and July we don't really have too many books coming out that we're really excited for, but September August, September, and October, we have a new book each month, which is insanity. Because I believe in August we get the Swifts. In September we get that is the Percy Jackson book, the seventh, seventh book. So that's gonna be fun. And then obviously in October we get the Skeleton Curse.
And in August?
August is the Swifts. I just said that. Yeah. So August, September, and October we get something really cool. We get really cool books that we're excited for.
That is exciting.
And then
I forgot about the Swift entirely.
fair enough. But yeah, I'm excited. I honestly cannot wait to see exactly how the Skeleton Curse plays out. And I really hope because the biggest problem with the with here in America is that I feel the first book there was actually like a big deal made out of it. Same thing goes for the second book, but it was a little bit less. And then the third book there was practically nothing. And I go to Barnes and Noble pretty often, mostly because it's where I get my coffee.
Fair.
So I would notice if they were doing something big for Skandar at any point, but they were not. Like when I went to go get my copy of the Chaos Trials, it was just put into the main kids section.
Yep. Same.
So it's just like, bruh, I wanted it to be like this big thing, and the Skeleton Curse. I'm really hoping that it is made a bigger deal at these places because comparatively, this is like, what's a good example? Return of the Jedi after Empire Strikes Back.
Half Blood Prince.
Huh? Oh yeah, and
Half Blood Prince.
yeah, and yeah, the book's after Half Blood Prince. So yeah, it needs to be something big because obviously Skandar was like, and the Chaos Trials. It ended on a cliffhanger, so it's just like we need to see what's going on.
Exactly.
So,
Like, no, I don't. No, I don't give a shit what you got planned for next. Right now you have a cliffhanger, bitch.
yeah. So yeah, she's gonna absolutely be doing so hopefully all of the different companies will be like, okay, let's get this out, let's make sure that it's really big. And also, need I remind you that it's Skandar and the Skeleton Curse coming out in October, which honestly, the Skandar books make the most sense for doing something in October.
That's true.
Like, they're freaking like some points in it are absolutely fucking terrifying, and I kind of love it. But yeah, and I'm guessing that the Skeleton Curse is probably going to be probably the darkest of the four books so far, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Like, you don't call something and the Skeleton Curse, and it's not gonna be dark.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
So, like, obviously, there's the prologue in Skandar 1, which still absolutely love it. It's one of the best ones that they've done. But at the same time, every single prologue has been absolutely amazing. Probably the weakest of them was the second book.
Yeah.
But that's mostly because it was kind of there wasn't really that much going on, but the whole 13 years of eggs are just gone. That is absolutely insane. In the prologue.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, that was absolutely bonkers and yonkers. Because so you finish the second book and you're like, okay, she took some eggs, no biggie, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you open the third and you're like, oh no.
She stole.
Oh no, she didn't just take some eggs. She took all the eggs. She took the eggs. She took the eggs. Not some eggs, not, oh, she took 5. No, she took all of them. And you're just like,
oh shit.
Oh well. Fuck.
Yeah. And it's one of the.
And they're all sitting there like, oh, she doesn't have the power. And I'm like, you heard the true. We both heard the true song, right? Like we both heard.
Yeah.
That. We both heard the word successor in there,
yeah,
right?
And not only successor, but true successor to Spirit's dark friend. Like, I'm honestly surprised that it took them that long to realize it was Kenna.
Right? Good God.
Like, true successor. Who is the true successor? It's always the firstborn, and Kenna was the firstborn.
I know. That's one of the things. As soon as I realized, I was like, true successor.
Yeah.
And as soon as I realized, I was like, oh, Kenna knows more than she's letting on.
Oh, absolutely.
Then I was like, oh, there we go. Carmen, stop biting yourself.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I absolutely love the true song, and I honestly, I can't wait to for them to actually do some to reveal all of that. But also, why were there no true songs in the third book?
I thought Jamie had his true song in the
No,
third
that
book.
was at the end of the fourth book or the second book. Sorry, like every single.
Oh, was
yeah,
it?
like there was. So there was the first.
Probably because bards are more associated with like the water.
Huh?
Bards for me are more associated with like, traveling, being near the water. So they're more associated to me more with like the fluidity of water than they are with the air.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. But I think it's funny though with that because there was a true song in the first book. Like
Was there?
It's very minor. It is extremely minor, and they don't realize that it's a true song. But
Whose true song was that?
doesn't matter. It's literally just.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't. It's not mentioned. Like it's not specifically stated that it's a true song.
What?
But there's.
Is it?
So there's basically a little thing as they're walking through, and they hear a bard singing something about fire, and that's literally all it is. And it's like.
Oh.
And
Okay.
While it could be not a true song, at the same time, it's like the fact that they're pointing that out, that feels like it's something important and it's something to do with it's a
Yeah.
true song. So we'll see. Um, Obviously, there were more songs in the um in Chaos Trials because obviously, Jamie's mom comes and sings for to put Skandar and Scoundrel
Yeah.
under.
Which Agatha then slaps the crap out of him for.
Yeah, absolutely she does. Which also I absolutely love. I love their relationship in the third book. Agatha and Skandar finally actually feeling like a aunt and a nephew.
Yes, I definitely love her arc in general as like
Yeah.
as she's going from being like this very gruff, I don't really want to be friends with you, I don't really want to deal with you kind of situation to okay, no, I do love you. I love you more than I love Erica
Yep.
and just like all these things.
Yep. And it's so heartwarming. I love their relationship. And I
Yes.
really really hope that they get to do more with that because obviously she can't be his teacher anymore.
Right.
Now that Swansong is dead, which as well as the fact that she's gone or she's in hiding because
Yeah.
that's just so freaking that pisses me off.
Everything Rex ever does pisses me off.
That's
So
absolutely
let's be
fair.
real.
And honestly, I cannot wait for him to kick the bucket.
It'd be really funny if his own unicorn killed him.
Yes.
Because you know how he's spoken. You know how he's spoken about like he's the reason he and Flo even became friends is because he's spoken about the power at the end of the reigns and how he slacked off training because sometimes it was just too hard and da 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 da.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be fucking hilarious if Silver Soldier just fucking killed him?
That would be amazing.
Or no, Silver Soldier is Alora's, but I forget what his is
They all
called.
start with silver. It's good.
Silver whatever. Yeah.
Which that's also just like such a ballsy move to just like all of the silvers are all called silver whatever. I would love.
Silver
Yeah.
Blade, Silver
Yeah.
Soldier.
Um, I would love for there to be someone who has a unicorn that's not silver, and that unicorn's name is silver whatever, just to fuck with them.
Right? Wouldn't that be fucking funny?
That would be
Or like
absolutely hilarious.
like maybe the dappled gray is called Cloudburst or Silver Cloudburst or Cloud Silver Lining.
That would be absolutely amazing.
That'd be so funny because that has nothing to do with like a silver anything but Silver Lining. That'd be so fucking funny.
Oh, that would be amazing if that was actually its name. Um, Also, are you excited to find out about Bobby's sister?
Kind of.
Like, I'm kind of intrigued to see like obviously, one, is she actually is she actually a writer? But also, I'm kind of terrified because I have a feeling that Bobby's sister is a spirit wielder. Did you get that?
I'm sorry, what?
I have a theory that Bobby's sister is a spirit wielder.
I could see that, yeah.
That would be just absolutely insane. Where Bobby is,
But that can't actually no, she can't be because they're not letting them in.
they're not
yet.
letting them in yet, but that's the point. Like Bobby is absolutely baffled.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. She already passed.
Yeah, yeah. One sec. And we're back. Okay, so sorry, there was a little bit of a pause there. Not.
If you read in the end of the third book, Bobby's sister is already on the island. She's already got her unicorn. She's already opened the door and everything. So
Does it say that? I thought that it said.
it does because the last thing Bobby says is that she's gonna go watch her sister walk the fault lines,
Okay.
which means she's already been accepted into the Erie, which means she is not in fact a spirit.
Okay.
She could, however, be in the first class of people who do get to start learning spirit wielding.
That would be.
That wouldn't be shocking.
That would be absolutely fair. Because yeah. So let's see. So that would be in her third year, which I'm not certain exactly how they're going to play with that because yeah. because obviously, so obviously we need to wait. We're gonna need to wait a little bit. Also, do you? So we talked a little bit about this. Do we think that anyone is going to become a any of our characters are going to become a they're actually going to be competing in the Chaos Cup at the end of the Skeleton Curse? Because technically,
I did say if anybody, I think Bobby,
okay, so
but I'm
yeah, so yeah, Bobby, which I would not be, I would be actually pretty thrilled if that actually happens. Um, but also like Skandar has a Shikoni saddle, so he has a little bit better of a chance to be selected to go into that. Um, because obviously the Shikonis actually do have a seat on the choosing the whoever the rider is.
That's true. But they also already have a saddle in the race.
Do they?
No, no, they don't. Not anymore, do they?
Yeah, Nina's gone. So
Fuck. I forgot about that. I forgot that Nina was their saddle.
yeah. So I don't think that there's anybody else at this point in time that has their
I don't think they do have anything else.
like. Well, there could be some other people that have gotten saddles in the however many years. Let's see, the 4 years between
Yeah.
between her and Skandar. So there's technically there is a chance that somebody else has one.
They did make it seem like they don't always pick someone.
Yeah.
though.
So there's absolutely a chance that that Skandar is the only one who's able to do who would be able to go.
Jasper, stop.
But also like the fact that I don't know. We'll see exactly, but I think that it's definitely a possibility that Skandar and Bobby get selected to at least go into the qualifiers.
Qualify.
Yeah, they can at least participate in the qualifiers. They do. I have a feeling that what they're going to say is, "You are. We will allow you to be in the qualifiers, but be aware that this is a very that you have a lot going on right now. So you may want to do a heavy thinking before you decide to even participate in the qualifiers." So
I also highly doubt they'll let Skandar be in the cup just yet.
I mean that's a possibility.
Especially since Ben is, or since not
Rex.
Ben, Rex is around.
Yeah. But I don't think that.
Okay, how is this level 65 Blossom destroying my level 100 Samurai in auto battles? Get fucked.
I have no idea. But yeah, I don't think that the Commodore has any say in who gets to be a part of this. Who gets
No, but they can say, but it is possible to say like, hey, we spirit wielders are not permitted in the cup. The council can say that.
I don't know if they can.
I think they can. Because they're the ones who made the laws that said the spirit element is banned from all forms of combat.
I mean that is fair. So I don't know. It's hard to say. Like I said, we'll see exactly what happens as the story continues. But yeah. I don't know. It's really hard to say, and I think for sure that Skandar, that at least Bobby is going to be she's at least going to be in the qualifiers. Whether or not she passes the qualifiers is another story, but at the same time, I could see her absolutely doing so. But another thing as well is, what do you think? So each of the different pictures that we see in here have to do with some major point in the actual story. In the story, so obviously, for the first book, it was basically, I think that would probably be the battle against the Weaver.
Yeah.
And then,
hold on, I have to use the bathroom.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I'll just
I apologize.
yeah, I'll go ahead and pause it.
Ramble to yourself.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, I do think that whatever they decide to do with Skandar 4 is going to be interesting. But I do have to say, that I want to see more from the first rider. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be anything too major. Obviously, with the first book, or he's done his job, and that's probably it. But at the same time, we could absolutely see some more coming. It's just really hard to say at this point in time. Uh, while we're waiting for Jack to come back, I thought I would just really quick go over all of the all of the unicorn riders that passed and which ones did not. So first off, the Earth ones, Florence and Silver Blade, which is obviously Flo, Gabriel and Queen's Price, Aisha and Dagger's Emerald, Elias and Marauding Magnet, Farouk and Toxic Time, Freya and Earthbound Raptor, and then the ones that were declared nomads was Alistair and Dusk Seeker, Mateo and Hell's Diamond, Fatima and Moonstone's Venom, and then for the fire wielders, there is Mitchell and Red Knight's Delight, who passed, Sarika and Equator's Conundrum, Mei and Rosebriar's Darling, AJ and Smoldering Menace, Violet and Roaring Flame, Art and Furious Inferno, and then the ones that were declared nomads was Walker and Savage Salamander, Chio and Burning Star, Naomi and Ember's Breath. And then for the water wielders, most of them passed. There's actually two that were not. Marissa and Demonic Nymph and Diva and Waterbreaker. Those were the two that were declared nomads. But then Kobe and Ice Prince, Mabel and Seaborn's Lament, Miriam and Old Starlight, Muhammad and Glacier's Hazard, Neve and Snow Swimmer, Sophia and Monsoon's Wrath, and then Skandar and Scoundrel's Luck, which obviously, yeah. Which I also love her little note about that this honorary water wielder is included in my report due to recent events, which is obviously because Agathon is in hiding at this point. And then finally for the air wielders, Bobby and Falcon's Wrath, which they did say Roberta, Amber and Whirlwind Thief, Zack and Yesterday's Ghost, Ivan and Swift Sabotage, Benji and Curse Whisper, Anuska and Sky Pirate, and then the ones that were declared nomads were Romilly and Midnight Star, Harper and Kinetic Kite, Luke and High Flyer, which, holy cow, that is a lot of wielders that are still in there. But needless to say, I do really enjoy. I'm excited to see both more from the ones that are that are advancing, but also see what's going to happen with those that were declared nomads, especially what's his face, Alistair and Dusk Seeker, because of the fact that they were part of the threat quartet. I do not imagine that they are going to go down without a fight. I think that they are going to have some issue with, and they are going to fight to make things different. I also want to just mention that for each of the only person who actually made notes about the ones that were declared nomads was Instructor O'Sullivan, who specifically mentioned that for Marissa and Demonic Nymph, it was disappointing that she didn't succeed, and then Diva and Waterbreaker was unsurprising, which is just so freaking brutal. Anyways, yeah. Is Jack back yet? Doesn't seem like it. Okay. So, yeah. Let's see here. What else can we do? Yeah. I don't know. So, let me pause. We're back. All right. So yeah. So what were we talking about before you left?
Bobby's
Oh
sister.
yeah. So yeah. I think that Bobby's sister. She likely will do some spirit training, but I don't think that it's necessarily going to be too much. Um.
No, like I said, she'll be the first class that kind of gets the opportunity to play with it.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a possibility.
Or not the first class, but like she'll be in the first year. You know what I mean? Like she'll still be in Erie when they introduce it. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Well, I mean, so yeah. So she'll obviously be there, and then also the current. There's 2 years between. So the current. Now that they're rookies. So the current.
Current hatchlings and fledglings will also
Yeah,
be there.
current hatchlings and fledglings will also be in there. Um. So
Or nestlings,
yeah,
excuse me.
nestlings. Sorry, because hatchlings are the first ones. So all four. So all
Hatchlings, nestlings,
Yeah.
fledglings,
So all three of them will be able to do it.
rookies.
And then and then all of the people who come in their final year, they will also be able to do it. But the only one who's going to be doing it, who's going to be using the spirit element from the get go, like their first year, is going to be 2 years from now, I think, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So, because it's going to be the hatchlings that come in during Skandar 5. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or at the end of Skandar.
Yeah,
5.
at the end of Skandar 5, sorry. Yeah. I mean, there is a possibility that the teachers are just like.
You are an idiot, Buster.
I have a feeling that the teachers are so
Just
pissed
laid on a
off
water bottle.
because they know that Rex did something and that he's basically just going to keep hurting Skandar. So I have a feeling that they're going to try and figure out a way to still teach spirit wielders. Like to teach people to be spirit wielder, to use spirit at some point. In fact, I actually think. Well, I'm not sure because from the sense I get about spirit is that it's really freaking tricky for people who are not spirit wielders to actually use spirit as an element.
Which makes sense.
So I'm wondering if it's like because like all four of the other elements, everyone is able to use them to some degree, but spirit is like.
But I also think part of that is that it's been out of the running for so long.
Well, even when spirit was available, it sounded like it was mostly the spirit wielders who were using it, and
Yeah.
the other wielders just didn't understand it and stuff like that.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
I highly doubt that it's more tricky to use, and I 100% will bet you anything that it is. We were too scared to try it, and we didn't ever get good at it.
Yeah. So it's hard to say, but I have I said this in our discussion about the fourth book, and I think that O'Sullivan might try to do as much as she can with the spirit element because she's just she cares so deeply for Skandar.
I feel like O'Sullivan has been wanting a reason to try to fuck around with the spirit element, and now she has one.
Yeah, since Skandar literally does not have a spirit, anyone who can actually show him the spirit element, because he's literally the only spirit wielder who has a unicorn now. Well, technically Kenna does, but Kenna is complicated.
Not a spirit wielder.
Yeah,
currently.
she uses all four or all five. And she's a wild. She uses a wild unicorn. So and it's not like she can teach him how to do it because she's literally not been using any of the elements for that long.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's hard to say exactly.
And she doesn't use them properly.
Exactly. So I'm wondering if I do have a feeling that most likely it would be either O'Sullivan takes on the responsibility, or one of the other spirit wielders is forced to become to like talk him through it. even if they can't necessarily show him anything. Yeah,
Sorry.
you're good. I think another thing though is that I do believe that they will at some point do. I think at some point they will have something along the lines of. Oh, what am I trying? He will get the freaking scripture back.
Yeah.
Because that's currently in the
I feel like Flo's probably going to
swipe it.
try to take them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will. So it does look like for what we have. Um. So for the map that we have, it does not look like the Silver Stronghold is on the map, which doesn't mean much, but it does hint at the fact that they will not actually be going to the Silver Stronghold this book.
Yeah.
So, but they will be going to the Hall of Competitors, which I am in, which we haven't seen that yet, so that's going to be interesting, and that's in the Chaos Compound in the arena. So, that'll be interesting to say the least. I really wish that I could actually like dissect the map, but because of the fact that like half of the map is kind of squished, and the rest and then the parts that we can actually see are really tiny, at least for the stuff that we don't know. It's like, what the heck is going on? What are we going to be what's going to be going on? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I when it's really hard to see.
And she's doing it on purpose.
Oh, she absolutely did it on purpose. Yeah. But yeah, so for the so the Earth Zone is the main.
Stop biting your toes.
Is the main one that seems to have stuff. It doesn't look like the Water Zone has anything. Well, there's a chance. It's just like it's really hard to see. But it does look like the glowing caves are going to be involved in some way, shape, or form for the Earth Zone, which is the only.
So I'm guessing the Wanderers are going to be involved.
Yeah, which, I mean, to be fair, we also had the Sky Force, and both of those were the Wanderers' locations. So, so the Wanderers are absolutely going to be involved, but they're probably not going to be as involved as they were in the third book.
I don't know. That's where Agatha is, so yeah. I don't know.
But another thing about that is because of, so Agatha, so the I can't speak. So the Earth Zone is the next is their next location that they're going to, because they were just in the Sky Forest, and then so the glowing caves are where they start out at the beginning of the year, and then the Sky Forest is where they are at the end of the year. So, and they're not we don't see the Desert Oasis, and we don't see well, they didn't have a location in the Water Zone that we saw. So while there is a possibility that there's a location that we're going to visit in the Water Zone, I don't necessarily think that we're going to see too much of that. So I don't know. The fact that the Desert Oasis is not shown, as well as there's no new locations in the Water Zone, at least that I can see, that leads me to think that we're only going to see them at the beginning of the year and at the end of the year. Maybe we'll see more from Agatha, but it's hard to say exactly. And then, if I grab Book 2's map, I think that might be Wildflower Hill. I can't see. Oh, I went too far. That could absolutely be Wildflower Hill, because it looks like it's the same image. I just can't read whatever it says there. So, which also, like, she wasn't wrong. Wildflower Hill and the glowing caves are literally right on top of each other. Yeah. So, yeah, I think the other problem is that they are smaller on the map. They are smaller than they were in the first in their original books. So whatever that is, I think that is Wildflower Hill and the glowing caves. Which, to be fair, Wildflower Hill being a major location in the next book makes way too much sense.
Yeah,
Because
true.
yeah, that is Flo's home, and considering the fact that Skandar and Flo are actually dating, it's like, of course they're gonna go to Wildflower Hill a bunch. And also, he has a Shikoni saddle, so of course they're gonna go there a whole bunch, because one, he needs to have he's gonna need the saddle to be looked at and stuff like that, and
They also kind of become his second family,
yeah,
even before he was dating
yep,
Flo.
they did. So,
They were pretty ready to adopt him as it was.
yep. Which, I mean, that's absolutely hilarious. I do want to see at some point, I want to see where the Everhart home actually is. I'm not certain where that's going to be. However, I have a strange feeling that it might be on the edge of the air zone. I'm not sure, because like it's I have a feeling that it's in 4 Point, but it's near the air zone, because Amber said that the Fairfax family home as well as the Everhart family home are right next to each other. And since the Fairfaxes are not just spirit wielders, but they are also air wielders, I wonder if that might have something to do with that. That's why it might be close. But I think it's in 4 Point, wherever those houses are, which they don't really show too much for 4 Point. And you're muted, probably coughing. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, whatever they decide to do with the fourth book, things are going to be interesting. I am really intrigued though about this little map. In the if you've seen the map, then you'll know what I'm talking about. But there is in the northeast corner, they put a map, another map which is not in any of the other 3 books. So, what exactly that's gonna be is gonna be
The evil island.
that could absolutely be the evil island, but it's so hard to read on the fake on the early picture that I'm not certain. Um, but yeah, so I don't think that I do not think that they're going to be going anywhere near the Restless Mountain. Um,
Probably not. After all, they're all kind of terrified of it.
yeah. So there is that.
That's like Bobby and the Stillig Gnomes was a real thing that happened.
That is definitely true. Another thing that I do find interesting though is even though so basically I think, if I'm remembering correctly, so the first so Skandar 1's map, it had 4 locations. So it had 4 of the locations that were important. Besides like little things. The second book had 3, I want to say. Oh no, it also had 4, but the arena, and so the only new locations that I added were the Secret Swappers Treehouse and Wildflower Hill. Then Chaos Trials has 8 new locations. And only 9 new locations, because the arena is there as well as the area; those are already there. But it also it also shows the council square. This one, it looks like there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 locations that are new. But it does have a few extra locations that have already been in there, obviously. So it's not as many. I'd say that it's probably about the same number of locations as the third book. However, it is mostly older locations as well as really small locations that happen to be in 4 Point, because there's a lot of things that are in 4 Point that we're seeing. Because there's the Twin Oaks, another tree which I can't read, Wildflower Hill, and the Glowing Caves. There's something that's kind of close to the water zone, but I can't read it. Then there is the library quarter, obviously the arena and all of that stuff, the prison, the Sky Forest, the something school. I can't read that one. And then there's the Scrapyard Treehouse, which I have a feeling that's where Kenna is. So yeah, I'm not sure what that word is. Because it's just too small. Let me go ahead and send that to you. See if you can maybe make it out a little bit more than I can. Can you make out what it says there?
Where?
So right above 4 Point, like between 4 Point and the Erie, it says something school.
The song school.
Oh. So you think Jamie's gonna be going there for a bit, or?
I don't know.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, that's not any better. But yeah, and then the other locations I can't really make out too well. Especially the ones that are on the folded side of the map. But yeah. Anyways, I can't really. I think Jack is dying, so we're gonna go ahead and call it there for now. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed this nerd chat. I have been Electro Ninja. He's been Jack, and we will see you guys next time. But on.